Thanks for being here. And thanks for those of you who subscribe to my YouTube page, since I do make these recordings available. So let's get comfortable in a seated position. This is our immune toning class for a time of year that requires a little more attention to that. I'm seated in a cross-legged position. So you can do that, or you can kneel, whatever is more comfortable for you. I highly recommend the roll blanket underneath the sits bones and having that anchor of the sits bones on the edge of the blanket, allowing the pelvis to spill forward in slightly so that you can feel that curve in your lower back. Also, underneath my knees, just to be extra kind to them, I have two blocks so that they can rest there in case there's any tightness in the hips. And then feel the crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Warm the hands in front of the body. And then take the hands to the lower back, noticing the curve in the lower back, just feeling that gentle, natural curve that allows the spine to rise up even taller, past the shoulder blades, towards the shoulder sockets, up past the neck, through the skull, up through the crown of the head. And then release the hands, reach up so we can get long before we do our seated practice. Let's reach the arms up next to the ears and the fingertips up towards the sky, even looking up at the hands, just bringing a positive energy into the body, welcoming that energy, which helps our immune system. And then face forward. And now drop the shoulders away from the ears as you continue to lengthen through the side bodies, each side of the body, the right and the left, along the ribs. Beautiful. And then allow the hands to drop like leaves off a tree, and then place them on the thighs. Inhale and exhale. And we'll just close the eyes, bringing ourselves in tune with the body, with the calming of the body through our breath. And that first step towards the breath will be just noticing the breath, inhaling and exhaling, natural process of the breath. A natural healing that comes to us without thinking. And if you're able to become the witness of that breath, we bring ourselves to another level of consciousness towards the calming and better flow of energy through the body. Notice the inflow, expanding the ribs and the belly. Notice the outflow of the breath. Taking a few moments to be the witness. Notice the natural process of that inhale makes the spine expand a little bit longer. And the exhale settles everything towards the sits bones. In our more conscious breath, we can bring attention to that inflow of the breath through the nostrils, welcoming that breath in. And on the exhale, out through the nostrils, you can make that sound audible of your breath as it comes in and out through the nostrils. As if you're sipping it in and then out. Exhaling out. This natural filtration process through the nostrils is another step to healing and regenerating our cells. Bringing in what we need and expelling out what we don't need. This is Ujjayi breath, a calming breath that's audible within the skull. And that sound of the breath brings that extra soothing quality, as well as toning the vagal nerve, which communicates to the entire extension of the body. One more Ujjayi breath, which you can come back to throughout the practice. Keeping the eyes closed, bring the palms together, and then rub them together again. Let's warm up the hands and the palms, fingers. And then bring those warm palms to the eye socket. So you can cup the hands around the eye sockets. Just feel the warmth of your hands into that entry point to the skull. Inhale and exhale. And then warm the hands again. Keep the eyes closed. Bring those to the ears, the palms to the ears. Change the sound a little bit. And then release. Allow the hands again to flutter down to the thighs. Feel that sense of grounding. Keep the eyes closed. Our welcoming visualization today can be as simple as beauty is around me. Beauty is around me. And you can interpret that however you'd like, to visualize something beautiful, to just be aware of the beauty that surrounds you. That beauty naturally healing us. Beauty is all around us. Then gently flutter the eyes open, and then allow the fingertips to touch the mat beside you. We're going to spider hands so that we press the fingertips into the mat. And as you press the fingertips in the mat, imagine that there are roots growing past those fingertips, allowing extra balance into the earth like a tree would. Especially those redwood trees really extend outward and stabilize. Here we are doing that for ourselves, echoing nature. Inhale through the crown of the head. Exhale, notice the sits bones. You can change the cross of the legs here if you'd like, just to mix it up. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to dip the head towards the heart. Chin is tucked into the jugular notch. So you feel the stretch not through the back, but not through the mid back, but just through the neck. Allow the inhale to float the head up and the gaze up towards the sky. And then bring the gaze forward on the exhale. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the other side. Exploring our neck range. Come back. Bring that gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale. Right ear toward right shoulder. Press through your left fingertips. And then allow your chin, if this works for you, allow the chin to gently turn toward the right shoulder. So just the chin is tracing toward the right shoulder. Pressing through those left fingertips, stabilizing. And then you're going to trace your chin along the collarbone towards the middle, towards the jugular notch. Inhale and exhale here in the center, finding that center line, midline of the body. Dipping down and then looking up. Rise up through the crown of the head before you exhale, left ear toward left shoulder, pressing through the right fingertips, noticing that activation of your trapezius muscles when you simply press through those fingertips. This is softening. The inhale brings that right ear up towards the sky. The exhale maybe brings you a little bit lower towards the shoulder, but we're just encouraging and not forcing. On your next exhale, let's bring the chin and point it towards the left shoulder. And then trace along the collarbone toward the center line. Inhale, we're already freeing up some channels. Looks like someone's coming in the room. We're already freeing up some more channels throughout the body, our lymph systems and all the supports for keeping us healthy. Let's inhale the arms up and float to, say, our wingspan, and then touch down to the ground again. Exhale. Inhale, wings up, keep the shoulders away from the ears so they're not expressing tension, but rather expanding outward with freedom and fluidity. Nice. I see the, shall we call them condors out there on the screen. Touch down. Feel that toning through the deltoids as you do that. Touch down and then inhale up, wingspan again through the fingertips, T arms. Bring the chin, turn it towards the right shoulder and looking over, gazing over the right fingertips. And then press the left arm into an imaginary wall. Sorry, the left palm into an imaginary wall behind the gaze. And feel that nerve flossing along that arm. And then see if you can slide the left hand against that imaginary wall behind you. Continue the breath path. Slide that palm forward. Bring the gaze ahead of you again, back to T arms. Feel the toning across the arms, and then we're going to gaze over the left fingertips with the chin turned, gaze turned, and then press the right hand into that imaginary wall. Slide that palm back if you can, towards the back. And then slide the palm forward, bring the gaze forward, wingspan again. And then we'll warm the palms, bring them in front of the heart, and then we'll warm them again. And then bring the thumbs, link the thumbs and bring the fingertips outward like bird wings and place that over the heart. Feel the warmth of your hands against your heart. Fingertips rest towards the shoulders. This sense of the heart space, the calming center, and also the intelligence of the heart, just feeling reminded of that. We tend to use those smarts up in the brain, but let's try to use the heart smarts. Inhale into the hands, exhale. As you exhale, fly the hands up like a bird flying up towards the sky. And then let's float the right fingertips down to the mat and take that left arm up towards the sky and next to the left ear, soften to the right. So we're going to walk the right fingertips out to a side bend. Again, dipping that ear, right ear toward right shoulder. And your left sits bone might want to lift up. See if you can anchor that. Another exhale reminds you, opening up the fabric on, or just taking out the wrinkles of the fabric on your left side body. Reach that left arm high. Bring the right arm up towards the ears. Left fingertips land down on the mat. Walk over to the left. Luxurious side bend here. Really use the muscles of your right side body to lengthen and to guide you in this stretch. Ribs, allow a little space between those ribs, and then sweep back up. Beautiful. And now we're going to give a little relief to those legs, and we're going to take a wide forward bend. Sorry, a wide wide-legged forward bend. So let's take the legs out straight. You can, if you want to micro bend them and, place something underneath your knees, you can do that too. Whatever works to open those hips and to just get some communication to the hamstrings, to our lymph system back there along the legs. Let's sit up on that blanket. So really, again, notice the curve of your lower back, that you want to sustain that. If it's compromised and the navel's dipping back towards the back of the room, then you want to sit up a little bit higher and use the fists beside you and lift yourself up a bit and then settle down. And notice that settling down again. No force into a wideness here. You can bring the legs together. So take the fingertips beside you again. Got those nice roots, sits bones and fingertips. Inhale. Feel the length. You want to feel the length before we do any forward bending. You just want to feel the length through the spine. Take the fingertips in front of you. Again, maintain that length through the spine. And your exhale brings you down. We're going to use the hips as our hinge point and walk the fingertips only as far forward. You can even use some blocks to guide you forward. And as long as you're not compromising that natural extension of the spine, you can lean forward. And if you have, lower back issues, don't go down as far into flexion. That's fine. The really important part is finding that crown of the head and feeling that energy upward in a diagonal direction. And also finding those sits bones again. Ujjayi breath. Sip it in. Release it out. If you find that, really far into extension of the spine and you can dip down lower, you can take the elbows, the forearms to the blocks. Feel it opening through the hip sockets. And then inhale brings you back up to vertical. And if this works for your knee, we're going to grab underneath the left knee and fold inward. So fold the left foot towards the right thigh into our Janu Shirshasana angle here. So we're folding in. This is another good pose for, again, the extension of our hamstrings and the lymphatic communication that happens there. But first, let's look at that left foot and just admire that foot and take the thumbs to the arches of the left foot and give a gentle massage. See if you can separate the toes out. We really want to reoxygenate everything today with our immune attention there, bringing oxygen throughout the body. So let's just give attention to those very far extensions, those toes, separate them out. And then again, massage along that arch of the foot. And now see if you can guide the bottom of that foot towards the right thigh, making contact there, gentle contact, so you can keep some protection on that left knee. And we're extending that right leg out straight. And then you can grab a strap if you want and take it around the ball, lasso it around the ball of the right foot. And as you hold onto that strap, you can feel that rising up. If you don't have a strap, it's okay. Just use the fingertips and rise up taller. Now we're going to go on a horizontal plane here so we're going to take our right hand to the strap and the right shoulder towards the foot. And then we're going to lean over, so a side bend towards the right foot. You can even travel along the strap towards the toes. Just feel that side bend. Take the left hand to the left thigh and feel that anchor. Inhale brings the left arm up towards the left ear. And keep the right foot super active, pressing into the strap or just pressing into an imaginary surface. Again, bringing more fluidity to the spine and to the communication along it. Sweep the left arm up towards the sky. Come on up. And then with that strap in your hand, we're going to use that leverage to turn the body, turn the torso, the sternum towards the right toes. And use the strap or just your fingertips along the floor. Inhale, and we're going to hinge at the right hip and come forward, dipping the heart towards those toes, keeping the crown of the head and the neck long. Inhale. Exhale. Even the sound of the breath, that sound of the ocean, perhaps in your breath, reminds us of that liquid, the 70% liquid that we are made up of. Bringing that energy into the bones. And then allow yourself to come back up to vertical. Release the strap. And we're going to switch it up here. So straighten out, guide your left knee so that you can straighten out that left leg. Support the right knee underneath, bend the knee, and bring that fold of that foot inward. Now, as an example, I'll use myself as the example. My knee does not want to go down on this side. I have a lot of asymmetry going on there. So just take that block and I place it under the knee so that it's not floating in space. So bring those fists beside you, lift up, find that anchor again. And then we've got our foot below us and that left foot stays active. So we're straightening out that left leg and then admire that foot. Take the thumbs to the arch of the foot, the right foot. Send your breath that way. And then separate the toes. Increasing our blood flow there. All of these acupressure points as well on the bottom of the feet that maybe you've had foot massages. It really reverberates through the whole body. Great. And then guide that right foot towards the left thigh, having a nice contact point there. And then grab that strap, or if you don't have it, take the left hand to the left thigh and turn the sternum towards the right knee. Or grab the strap and then turn the torso so that we're facing a horizontal plane. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, lean towards the left toes, left ear toward left shoulder. Take the right hand to the right thigh. Really use that physical anchor of the right hand down on that thigh. You can really plug in that hip. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale. Bring the right arm toward right ear. Keeping our left foot active, protecting the knees, activating our muscles along those legs. Sweep the right arm up towards the sky. And then we're going to change our orientation so that we turn the sternum towards the left toes. Grow tall. Hang on to that strap if you have it. And then keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed, dip towards the left toes. Guiding our left hip socket, ball and socket, nice and fluid. Bowing down. And only go, again, as far as is comfortable for you. But at some point, you'll wake up that left hamstring as well. Float on back up to vertical. Release the strap, set it aside. Guide that left knee to bend it, and we'll transition to our tabletop, all fours. Props over to the side. You can cushion the knees with that blanket. But our anchor here in all fours, as usual, is the shins and not the knees. So they're our touch point, much bigger surface to rely on, protecting our kneecaps. So let's make sure those shins are about hip width apart. Got the wrists below the shoulders. And then we're going to activate those shoulder muscles by squeezing the energy of the armpits down towards the ribs. So as if you're squeezing a magazine under the arms, and our armpit reaching in this horizontal plane through the crown of the head, leaving that nice natural curve in the lower back. Inhale, let's get our cat going on here. So dip the tailbone down towards the floor, lift up, making a C curve with that spine upward. Exhale, look at your knees, press away. Exhale into cow, lifting the tailbone up, rippling up the spine. The head is the last to rise up. Gaze forward, nice relaxed cow. And then back into cat. Use your Ujjayi breath here to create that wave in the spine. With the sound of the breath. As we lift up into cat, we're oxygenating, bringing extra expansion into those lungs in the back. And then bringing that fluidity again. We'll come back to a neutral spine. And then we're going to come down to our forearms. So place each forearm on the mat. Place the palm down. Spread the fingers. You're in a nice pressed position there. So this anchor we've got down here that are the forearms and the palms and the fingertips. And then again, that energy of the armpits towards the ribs. We're sort of bringing our head below the heart, another reoxygenation process that we'll be doing today is bringing that head lower than the heart, bringing the smarts of the heart into the brain, as well as the blood flow from the bottom of the torso all the way to the top. And from here, we're going to puff up through the back of the lung. So we're going to take the shoulder blades and slide them away from each other. And as you do that, in between space is going to lift up the back of the heart towards the ceiling. And then exhaling to bring the shoulder blades together between the elbows. So, towards the heart comes towards the elbows. Inhale. Again, just find some flexibility in the mid spine. So in between those shoulder blades. You can dip the head down as you lift up, then keep the head pretty neutral, pretty subtly moving, not part of a huge part of the picture here. The more of the expansion is across those shoulder blades and in the back of the heart. Exhale, melt the shoulder blades together and the heart down towards the elbows. Back to Ujjayi breath, guiding this motion. Unrounding the back, flushing out any static energy brought about by typing or driving, any of those stiffening activities. One more time up, melt down. Beautiful. Now bring the palms down and we'll use that as our base again, back to tabletop. And let's get into that strength within the core, curling the right toes under, straighten out the right leg. And let's get an extra little reminder to our hamstrings to open up. So we'll take the heel of that right foot back and forth along the front of the mat to the back of the mat, opening up the hamstrings gently. And then come back to a neutral. Find your center, lift the right leg off the mat, nice and straight, press through the foot. Inhale the left arm next to left ear. Find that pull into the center line of the spinal column. And then reach the left arm out and left hand out. Look forward as if you're trying to find a friend's hand to shake. And then come back to center. So you've gone off center, come back to center. Feel the breath align you through that inhale and the exhale. Come back down, hand down, shin down. Inhale, let's curl the left toes and reach back, straighten out the left leg, rock back and forth. And then lift the left leg off the mat, nice and straight. Check in with your pelvis. So the sacrum, you want it nice and even, as if you could imagine your favorite beverage, place it on your sacrum, and don't spill that beverage. Inhale the right arm next to the right ear. Lengthen, lengthen, inhale. Exhale brings you back down. So follow your breath and alternate here a few times. I'm not going to give you a number, just follow your breath until we'll meet back in our neutral, but just keep alternating side to side. Keeping that evenness steady through the hips. Do this with that confidence of your core and not stressing out through your face. Just keep that relaxed. Beautiful. And then we'll come back to our neutral. Slide the hips back to the heels. Place the forehead on the mat. Child's pose, reaching long through those arms. Feel the length of the sides again. Maybe we've made them a little longer. Now you can really reach long. Each exhale reminds you of the support of the earth beneath you. And then flip the hands so that the palms are up towards the sky, connecting us above. Imagine some lovely positive thing coming into your hands. And then place the palms down. That sense of grounding. Inhale, curl up through cat. And then we're going to come into either a downward dog or a puppy pose. So I'll demonstrate puppy so you can see that. Puppy is just keeping those shins as your base, keeping that right angle of the thighs to the mat, and then extending the arms and bringing the forehead down to the mat. So you're really doing that extension, or you can come up into down dog, placing the palms forward towards the top of the mat, pressing through the fingertips, pointing with that index finger, curling the toes under, and then lifting up the knees off the mat and stretching back into down dog, bringing the head between the arms. If you're in puppy, follow that inhale and exhale as extending the spine through the inhale and the exhale, bringing that reminder of the support beneath us. If you're in down dog, you can bend the knees, one knee and then the other, bringing the heels towards the earth. So what we're doing in both of these poses is, again, that head below the heart. Following our inhale and exhale, allowing that oxygenation to occur. It's so good for the immune system. Really lengthening more than anything here. Lengthening and grounding. And then if you are in your puppy pose, if you can lift those knees off the mat and walk the hands towards the feet. We'll hang out here like our bat in the cave and our forward bend. If you have blood pressure issues and you not want to do that, you can come up into a flat, excuse me, a flat back. But otherwise, you can hang that head down, bend the knees, ribs come to the thighs. You keep those knees behind the toes. We're going to hang down, just look at the world upside down, take the thumbs up to the elbow creases, and feel the weight of the head is allowing a bit of attraction to your neck. Allow that to happen. And then our warming of the core and the warming of the body going to happen through our chair pose. If you feel like placing that block between the thighs for an extra sense of strengthening and centering, you can do that, or you can challenge yourself to a chair pose without that. Just imagine the block between the thighs. Release the hands down towards the mat. Keep the ribs at the thighs. Inhale, the arms are going to go behind you straight up towards the skies if you're jumping off, is preparing to jump off, ski jump. And then lift the spine nice and long towards the crown of the head. Exhale, bring the palms, the fingertips down to the mat and sweep the arms next to the ears. Sit back in an imaginary chair. Peel off the ribs from the thighs. Stand down strong through those footprints. And squeeze the inner thighs together. Where's that midline? Where's the spinal column of strength? Press down through the feet and slowly come up to standing, reaching up towards the sky. Inhale. Whew. Exhale, the arms next to the body. I can feel this. I've been doing a lot of dancing lately and my thighs are telling that story. So let's face the midline of the mat. So the long part is either side of us. And let's do a few forward bends. Hopefully this is okay for some of you who, again, if you have those blood pressure issues or anything, you can just take not as forward of a forward bend. But I want to take that block to the thighs and remind us of that strong center. And so that we're not compromising the lower back when we bend forward, we're going to take the hands to the hips, and the hips are the hinge point here. And reaching tall through the crown of the head. Keep the knees micro bent so we're not locking them. Our roots are coming through those feet, through those spread toes, that big surface of our toes, right? Let's make our feet a bigger surface by spreading the toes. Inhale, exhale, hinge at the hips and squeeze the block as you do that. So you're going to take the hands this time as we come down to the top of the thighs, feeling that crease forward, bringing the head lower and then back up again, nice and slowly. We'll just do this 3 times. Inhale, grow tall, exhale, crease forward. See if you can get to the point where you feel that in the hamstrings. Up and down. We're just taking this trip up and down to get into our full communication of along the spine. You can dip down as low as you want. Keeping those feet activated and the knees micro bent. Squeezing the block. Oof, nice. Stand up strong. Remove the block. And then we'll take a nice arch in the spine. Warm the hands again. Take them to the lower back. Feel that nice curve. And then use your heart. Again, the smarts of the heart. Let's imagine that the heart has eyes, and the eyes of the heart want to look up at the sky. You can tuck the chin in as you do this. So I'm arching the back, but mainly using that, squeezing the shoulder blades and the eyes of my heart to look up, inhaling, and then maybe use your eyes, the gaze, to look up too. Pressing down on the lower back, the fingertips towards the heels, keeping that lower back supported. Elbows behind you. Exhale back up to standing. We'll try that one more time. So really slide the hands down towards the heels and then look up. Exhale. Oh, I know, because we did cat-cow and we do that a lot. I think you're bringing more that arch capabilities in your spine, as well as our bridge pose. Again, bring your gaze back so that we have the sides of the mat, the long sides beside us. Come into mountain. We're going to slide the right foot behind the left and stand strong in this cross pose where you take the right foot and really stand down strong through it. Bend the left knee forward, keeping it aligned with the toes. Inhale the arms up above the head. And we'll take the left hand to the left hand to the right wrist. Inhale, grow tall, long, and then exhale, lean over to the left. If you have trouble with shoulders or any injuries there, you can just take a strap and hold on to that strap as well in between the hands. Feel the length. This is really getting to some longer connection points along the hips. If you hold it, you're able to press down through that right foot. You'll really get the benefits afterwards. I promise. Keep the relaxed neck there. Float yourself back up on a big inhale. Release the arms and trace that line back to mountain pose with your right foot. Find the center, slide the left foot behind the right. Really use that anchor of the left foot. Bend the right knee, inhale the arms up. Right hand grabs left wrist, guiding us over towards the right. You can take the hips and really slide out towards the left side of the hips, really addressing some of those hip flexors. Decompressing, opening up the channels of communication through our connective tissues. Inhale the arms up, sweep the arms down, and then unwind yourself there with the left foot. And we're going to take a wider stance here. So it's wider than hip width, but not way towards the edges of the mat. We're going to chop some wood. And this is a nice toxin flush into the body. So we're going to take the hands together. So clasp them like a fist, I guess you'd say. And then inhale up, look up. And as you come down, we're going to imagine that we're chopping wood in between the knees. I want you to make sure to keep the knees behind the toes. So inhale, grow long, exhale, sit back in the imaginary chair and chop down in between the legs. And then inhale back up. Chop it. Really use that exhale. Inhale into center. Midline, exhale. Couple more times. Inhale. Mindful to bring in energetically what you want and send it out with that chop. Expansive breath. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Chop it. And then inhale up. Look up. Lengthening one more time. Slight back bend. Then bring the gaze forward. Release the hands down. Take that stance a little bit wider. So we're taking the toes out and angling them out about 25 degrees or so, whatever matches with the alignment of your knees. That's the important part. We're really turning out the hips here. So our foundation is the feet, but we're really doing that turn out from the hips. You can take the hands to the thighs and gently outwardly rotate. So that means if you take your hands and the fingertips towards the inner thighs, you're taking your thumbs behind you and going toward the thumb in that direction. That's the outer spiral there. And we're going to take our Let's just take the hands to the thighs as we plie, as we bend the knees. Inhale, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the knees towards the toes. So I want you to just practice that alignment as we go down and bring the hips down and outwardly rotate the hips physically with those hands. Thighs pull back towards the thumbs behind you. So feel the skin travel back. That's what we're looking for in our goddess pose. Okay. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach up towards the sky. And when we come down into our goddess, we're going to come into cactus arms and release the breath, lion's breath, tongue sticks out. And again, releasing extra toxin flush, what you don't need. Inhale up, exhale. Fierce exhale, inhale up again. Fierce exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Magic 3. Now stay here. Feel the footprints, spread the toes. Keep the arms up so that we're toning. Shoulders away from the ears. Relax the face. Nice. And then just float the hands down to the thighs. And then we're going to hinge forward at the hips and just take a twist here. So using goddess pose as our base, keeping the knees aligned, you're just going to take the left shoulder toward the right knee. So we're twisting here, keeping the base of the pelvis as we twist the spine towards the left, gaze over to the left. Inhale back through center, right shoulder comes toward left knee. Gaze over to the left. Back through center on an inhale, exhale. And you can straighten the legs more if that's really burning through your thighs or uncomfortable. And back to center. Straighten out the legs, come on up. And let's bring the feet to parallel. So toes forward. Let's take the hands to the, and if you want to block in the middle of your, in front of you, you can place that there for coming down into our forward bend. Take the hands to the top of the thighs. This time we're doing that inward spiral. So instead of the outward one we were doing with the goddess pose, let's take the fingertips towards the inner thighs, thumbs behind you, and guide the flesh inward toward the thighs. Inhale. Exhale, guide those thighs inward as you come into a flat back forward bend. Exhale, bring the palms down below you to the block or to the floor, keeping the flat back. Extend first through an inhale, and then exhale brings you down into a deep lean. Palms down to the floor or to the block, head hangs down. Again, here we are using that weight of the head to our advantage so that we get longer through the neck. And then you can take the hands down to the mat, or the fingertips down to the mat, and walk the hands, keeping the hips even. You're going to just walk over towards your left, the fingertips over towards your right foot, and take the left hand to the left shin if you can. Do a gentle twist from here. So your head is hanging slightly and you're looking over toward the right, keeping the right fingertips as your anchor as well. Expand, inhale. On an exhale, let's walk it through the middle. And we're going to walk over towards the left foot. Take the right hand to your left thigh if you can. Left fingertips come down on the mat. And then you're going to twist over gently toward the left. Gaze over the left. And then guide the gaze back to neutral. Beautiful. Hang down. Hinging at the hips. And then lift up into a flat back. Inhale. And begin to heel toe bend the knees and just stepping into our bent knee forward bend, ribs are at the thighs. And then gently, one leg, knee down, and then the other, coming down to the mat, making our way down. And then guide yourself to a reclined position, grab the strap. And there's my strap, somewhere hiding here. Here we go. So we're going to align the skull, the back of the skull and the sacrum, and take a nice supported twist. Inhale the right knee towards the chest and circle the ankle. Again, getting that Achilles area nice and warmed up. Another very important channel for our lymphatic system there. Okay, and then we'll take the strap to the ball of the right foot. And then if you can reach that right heel up towards the sky, pressing through the strap, hamstring stretch. Before we go into this twist, you can just get a nice little bonus hamstring opener here, bending and straightening the leg. You might want to clear the props around you so we can go into our twist. Take the strap, both sides, into your right hand. Again, if you don't have a strap, simply support the back of your thigh. And then press through your left foot, lift up, bridge up, and then come over onto your left side. And allow the right foot to just gently rest on the floor. And then switch the strap so it's in your left hand. And then we're still skull to sacrum aligned. So check in on that. And then bend your left knee and bring your left knee towards the back of the mat. Bring your right hand to the heart. Bring your right hand to the heart. And guide that sternum over up towards the sky. And turn the ribs towards the right. Gazing over the right shoulder. Bringing your arm into cactus or lengthen out into a T-arm. And then the extra bonus here, if you want a thigh stretch, your right hand can find your left foot and press the left foot into the right hand. This is an extra pretzel, so don't force it if it's not happening. Important here is our twisting and cleansing through the spinal connections and allowing us to connect with the earth below. So the back body connects, melts towards the earth. And then you can release that foot if you have it. Sweep the right arm up towards the sky. Grab the strap again, guiding the right foot up onto your back, bend the knee, release the foot. Other side, inhale the left knee towards the chest. Circle the ankle. And let's get that strap around the ball of the foot and reach up towards the sky, bend and straighten. The hamstrings always want a little bit more. They tighten up very easily, at least for me they do. And then we'll keep that leg nice and straight. Take the strap into your left hand, both sides. Bridge up with the right foot support over to your right side. Left foot comes down to the mat. And you're going to grab both sides of the strap with the right hand. Line skull to sacrum. And walk that right knee out back towards the back of the mat. Left hand comes to the heart. Inhale, exhale, guide the sternum up towards the sky, the ribs over to the left. Open the hands, gaze over the hand in a long T arm or cactus, whatever's more comfortable for you, your shoulders. You can find your right foot with your left hand and press that foot into the hand. fantastic. If not, fantastic too. Find your breath. Release whatever you need to release. Sweep the left arm up towards the sky. Come back to that strap. Guide your left foot up towards the sky again, onto your back. Bend the left knee, release the strap. Now we're going to release everything. Left leg goes long. Right leg. Flop the feet out to the side. Feel the hips so much more open than when we started. Allowing more release, and then take right arm long next to the body, left arm now long. Press through the arms and get on the floor so you can lift the sternum up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then release down. Shoulders melting. Skull, sacrum, the spinal column in between. Maybe you feel more communication happening through that awakened spinal column. We've used the breath to our advantage to flush out what we don't need, invite in new rejuvenation. And now we can use that mind of ours to visualize something replenishing, refreshing. That statement, beauty is all around me. Beauty is all around us. What is a beautiful place that you can think of, that you can visualize? The elements of the beauty of that place, the sights and sounds and smells and tastes. Notice as you paint the picture what effect that has on your body. A brightening, a softening. What effect it has on your breath. This visualization, you can call this up at any time you want to. Allow a more even flow of energy through the body, something positive to bring to it. We have those five senses to harmonize our mind, body, and spirit. And the breath is that magic connector. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bend the knees and the elbows. Bring the presence back into your current surroundings. Inhale and exhale as you roll over onto your right side, away from the heart. And then press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Linking those thumbs, fingertips, palms at the heart space. Inhale into the heart. Inhale into the hands, the heart space. Exhale, bring the hands into prayer position. Thank you so much for joining me in the practice today. Namaste.